My meeting schedule in the past 5 weeks included almost 20 different peer-to-peer platforms, lending companies, and other stakeholders. A busy time overall, but with interesting insights as to how the industry is performing as a whole and how different platforms are dealing with their own issues and problems. A couple of my thoughts have already been summarized on my social channels, while a few conversations have already been published here on YouTube. In today's video, I want to briefly discuss my personal 5 beneficiaries from my recent trip to the Baltics, which have gained a new or an improved position in my personal peer-to-peer portfolio as a result of the meeting. My second visit to Inka Marketplace has further increased my confidence and trust in the Estonian peer-to-peer platform. This time around, I managed to meet a couple new faces from the team, including CEO Lavrenti Tsudakov, who made a very organized and professional impression on me. Overall, I have a feeling that the combination of CEO Lavrenti and founder Kimmo, who both share their duties on the operational and strategic side of the business, seems to be a well-aligned connection that has already shown visible improvements in recent months. From February onwards, Inka managed to increase its portfolio size by 1 to 1.5 million euros per month, which has now reduced the defaulted proportion of the portfolio to less than 1%. According to my conversation with Income, 5 new lending companies have already signed cooperation agreements with the platform, making it unlikely to run into any cash drag situation while diversifying the funding pillars even further. The meeting with Estonian lender Esto, which finances its loans via Mintos, has also been among the positive highlights worth mentioning. Here I met with CEO and Esto co-founder Mick Metzer, with whom I had already had some touch points in the past. I was particularly impressed by his extensive knowledge about the company and the industry as a whole, as well as his willingness to openly share KPIs, processes, and numbers that could be considered more company-sensitive information. If I needed to rate my conversations in terms of value for investors, Esto would definitely be among the top 3, so make sure to re-listen to the podcast if you're interested in this lending company. Since Esto has confirmed my positive impression of the company, I am most likely to join their bond offer on Mintos, which is supposed to happen in the upcoming weeks. Another positive encounter worth mentioning happened with Landa CEO Nikita Gonzas, with whom I was able to connect for the first time in person. My impression of him from previous online meetings was also confirmed in real life. A calm and rational guy, eager to learn, who is willing to improve his platform the best way he can. As the platform was dealing with many issues in the past, mainly due to a lack of infrastructure and experiences in the market, Landa appears a lot more stable now thanks to new structures and new manpower. I also enjoyed the humble approach of the platform to stabilize its processes and performances first before getting lost in any growth fantasies which could hurt them later down the line. Since I haven't been too satisfied with the performance of Landa in recent months, my confidence is now back on track, and therefore the platform owns and deserves a more stable position in my portfolio allocation once again. For me personally, one of the highest expectations I had prior my Baltics trip was regarding Debitum due to their strong performance in the recent 9 months, which made me consider to rejoin the platform. The discussions with new Debitum CEO and shareholder Eriks Rengitis made it clear to me why Debitum has raised its profile since the change of ownership last summer, which is mainly due to those new shareholders who sparked the growth with clear guidelines, a high level of financial expertise, and the support of their network. Although Eriks might come across as a slightly dry and stiff character due to his career in corporate finance, his knowledge, network, and sharp mind are great additions to the platform's development. I also felt that his explanations on more sensible topics, such as the DEB token or the situation in Ukraine, which both took place before his time, have been very smart and understandable. As there is still a lot more to discuss regarding Debitum and why I decided to rejoin the platform again, I will publish some Debitum-centered content in the upcoming weeks. Last but not least, I also want to highlight my encounter with Heavy Finance, where I managed to speak with two of their shareholders for the first time in person. The focus was mainly on green loans, which I discussed at length with co-founder Darius. His statements and projections made sense to me, as did those of Andrius, who spoke more on the overall market developments and how recoveries can be improved. As for now, I am quite confident that the platform's performance will continue to improve despite some seasonal fluctuations that cannot be eliminated, which are simply a part of the agricultural industry. Since I have recently celebrated my first anniversary on Heavy Finance, being an active investor, I will dedicate some more in-depth follow-up content on them in the upcoming weeks as well. As you may heard once or twice in this video, I plan to publish more platform-tailored content in the upcoming weeks, which will then also cover platforms that haven't been mentioned today. If you're looking forward to it, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any future content.